I promise that you won't want to miss this opportunity. One lucky winner will win the opportunity of a lifetime, including an all-inclusive trip to the Reshoevn8 headquarters to meet the entire Reshoevn8 team. Plus, you'll get to go home with a one-of-a-kind custom designed by you. On top of all that, you'll also win a ton of Reshoevn8 products, from luggage to display cases and so much more. It gets better. You'll also get thousands of dollars in gift cards to our secret boutique Many Worlds and Guest List AZ. Entering is easy. Head over to reshoevn8.com and gain 1 entry for every dollar you spend. Good luck everybody, and hopefully I'll see you soon. What's up everybody? Today we're going to be working on a shoe that doesn't get talked about enough, the Air Jordan 15. This is a unique, beautifully designed shoe. After MJ retired in 1998, these came out in 1999. I think these didn't get as much love or attention just because you didn't get to see Michael wear these on the court. This is one of the rarest Air Jordan 15s to ever come out, and the crazy thing is, these were released to the public. We'll get into that in just a bit. Today's workload is to make this shoe fully wearable again. As you can see, this shoe is fully separated. There's a lot of different parts to it. I've never reglued a Jordan 15, so it's gonna be a task. We got some work ahead of us, so let's get started. Like I mentioned, these are player exclusives. This specific pair is the purple and white colorway. It's my personal favorite. In the set, there's also 4 other colorways. You get the black, midnight navy, red, and green. To see the full set is super rare. Although PEs usually never get released, some pairs of this colorway popped up at Eastbay for sale. They were considered leftovers, so Jordan Brand gave them to Eastbay to sell. Now many of these were available. If you got a pair, you were very lucky. Another cool thing is, NBA legend Ray Allen, who's also known for his player exclusive sneakers, had a pair very similar back in the day during his Milwaukee Bucks days. It was the exact same colorway, but with some minor details. On the inside, it had a green embroidered 34, and on the pull tab, it had Ray. Super rare pair. The last bit of information I'm gonna leave you guys with is the inspiration behind the design. These were designed by Tinker Hatfield. The Air Jordan 15 took inspiration from the NASA rocket-powered X-15 hypersonic jet plane. The X-15's sleek and speedy design is recreated all over the silhouette of this sneaker. Now it's time to get to work. First things first, we gotta destroy the shoe to rebuild it. Alright, we got everything separated. As you can see, we have a lot of different parts to work with. On the inside of both midsoles, we have some broken down air units. They are no longer functionable. They have no air. We're gonna remove these so we can replace these later. Got the air units out. As you can see, they're still fully intact, so I'm gonna save these for the owner. Later on in this video, I am gonna replace these with some comfortable EVA foam. Let's put these to the side and get started with a bunch of prep work. We're gonna be using acetone and cotton balls to remove all the old glue from the top portion of the midsole and bottom, all these rubber parts, and for the uppers, we'll do a different technique. We're getting there with the prep work. Now we're on to the uppers. First, we gotta remove all the adhesive from this back leather piece using some acetone and cotton balls, but first we're gonna heat it up. Glue is fully removed from this back piece. Now we gotta do the same thing on the rest of these gray roughed up areas. For this part, we gotta use a Dremel with the 60 grit sandpaper bit. We can't use acetone because it's not gonna remove the adhesive. We're gonna be doing this part in Nick's studio so we don't make a mess in here. All done with the jumping step on the uppers. Now before we start gluing, we gotta replace the broken down air units. For this, we're gonna be using some 10mm AVA foam. First, using some tape, we're gonna go in, create our pattern pieces. There's 2 different shapes we gotta create. After that, we'll lay it down on the foam, trace it, and then cut it out. Finally, prep is all done. Let's start laying down some glue. First, we're gonna apply glue onto the EVA foam and these 4 pods on the midsole. After that, we have a bunch of glue to lay down on all these rubber parts and the uppers. Let's get it going. Glue's been applied to the uppers and the rest of the pieces. While we did that, the glue cured over here. We're gonna heat it up so we can stick everything together. After that, we're gonna do some dremeling. EVA foam is attached, looks good, but it still needs to be fitted. Before we go in with the Dremel and get it nicely shaved, we gotta go in with an X-Acto knife first to remove the bigger chunks. All right, let's finish this step in next studio. EVA foam is nicely shaped. All we gotta do now is finish off applying the glue onto the top portion and the bottom portion of the midsole to let everything fully cure. Glue's been applied to everything. We let it cure for several hours. Now it's time to start sticking stuff together. There's a lot of different pieces to this shoe. So first, we're gonna start with the midsole and its front piece of the sole. We're gonna heat it up and stick this part together. After that, we'll move on to the next piece. Part 1 is complete, not that bad. Now we're onto the uppers and gluing it onto the sole and midsole. First, we're gonna start with the toe piece, get it lined up perfectly. Then we'll jump to the sides and then finish off the rest of the shoe. It's looking good, you guys. We're on to the last couple parts. We still gotta glue on the heel cup onto the shoe. For this, we're gonna heat it up, line it up in this very bottom corner, and after that, do the second half. Heel cup is on there. Now for the last piece, let's throw a little bit of heat. Final piece is on there, looks great. Real quick, I'm gonna show you guys a quick stress test. Nothing too crazy, the glue is still fresh, but it looked good. Next step is to let them dry. Reglue is fully done. There was a lot of different parts to this shoe, but it looks great. Alignment looks good, no glue where there shouldn't be. Let's keep it moving. After the reglue was done, I let the shoe fully cure for about 2 days just to make sure the reglue was fully dried. Now the next step we gotta do is give the shoe a proper deep clean. Overall, the shoe is really clean. However, the last few days, I've been touching the shoe a lot with my oily fingers, and I've done a lot of prep work on the shoe where a lot of dust got on the uppers. So real quick, we're gonna be using our Rejuvenator solution and our soft bristle brush to give this a quick pass over all over the sneaker. Cleaning is complete, the shoe looks good. I didn't soak the sneakers, so they're really not that wet. The next step we gotta do is remove the yellowing from the uppers and the sole as well as the rubber. So for this, we're gonna be using the Vick 2000. We're gonna stick them in there for a solid day and the laces as well. Once we pull them out, it should be back to white. All right, shoes are back to white. Let's lace them up. All right, YouTube, that is gonna bring us to an end on this full reglue of these Air Jordan 15s. I gotta say, this is my first time doing it, and it was a lot more work than I thought. So much prep work, so much glue I had to apply, so many parts to stick together, but overall, it was the exact same thing as other reglues I've done in the past. You just gotta do the right techniques and take your time while doing this process, and everything will work out. We also clean the shoe up using our Rejuvenator solution and brush, as well as the Vick 2000 to get them back to white. You can find all our products at rejuvenator.com. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Vic Almighty. I'll catch you guys next Monday. See y'all.